Hello, it's Hannah J, and today I am going to do another story time. Story times seem to be my favorite because I have a lot of them, and I think next week I'm gonna try to do a DIY candle. I tried to do it this week, but I didn't have Crisco, so it was a bummer. Anyway, so this story time is gonna be like a relationship story time. Now I'm not gonna say anyone's names, any of my ex's names, just because I don't want to. I know I don't want to give out like personal names and stuff. I feel like it's wrong. So I'm just gonna like change their names, and I'm just gonna give you like some of my experiences with relationships. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so my dad died when I was 8. You know, everyone knows that, and I don't know why I'm bringing that up in this video, but I know that a lot of people are gonna like say a lot about me dating so young, because I did date when I was 8. That was my first real, not my real relationship, but like my first relationship was when I was 8. And like, I know that's really young, but I feel like it was just like two little kids saying they were dating, you know, because we'd go to the school dances together and we hung out, you know, so I feel like it wasn't really dating. I feel like we were just friends. So I don't like talking. I like talking about it, you know. I'm like, I was 8, and then everyone's like, you were 8, that's so young, and I'm like, well, we weren't really dating. It was more like, you know, it was more like he was my friend, you know. We'd hang out, you know, and it was really funny. It was really fun, and it was really cute, you know. It was like a little kid, like, oh, I have a crush on you, oh, I have a crush on you, and like, yeah. So that one, it was just, I call it puppy love. That's what I would always say. I was like, that was just puppy love. You know, and being that my dad died when I was so young made me mature a lot quicker than others. So when I was about 10, I think, I was about 10, I had repeated the 3rd grade, so I was in 4th grade. So I should have been in 5th grade, but I was in 4th. So I was in 4th, and I met this kid. Well, we had mutual friends, and I got bullied a lot when I was little, so I didn't really have many friends. I had like 2, and they weren't even in my class. I had no friends in my class. Everyone bullied me. You know, I had warts on my hands, so all the girls said that they couldn't touch anything I touched because they didn't want to catch warts, and like at the playground and stuff, no one played with me, and I'd always just end up not playing with anyone and sitting in the corner by myself. So my friends introduced me to their friend who was also in my class, because they knew I was lonely. I was a little kid and I had no friends. And so they were like, oh, well, Hannah, we know this kid. His name's John. His name's John. That's what we're going to go with, is John. They're like, his name's John. So they were like, you know, John will be a friend. And I was like, okay, awesome. You know? And for my birthday, when I was in elementary school, my mom would always make me give an invitation to my birthday party to everyone in my class. So in my school, we had mailboxes, which was just like envelopes that my teacher had in the classroom that she would put like special papers in, and every day we'd have to get the papers out and take them home and show them to our parents. So she let me put my birthday invitations in everyone's mailbox. So I did. And John was the only kid. There was like 20 some kids in my class. John was the only kid in my class to show up to my birthday party. I hated having birthday parties when I was little because I had no friends and like no one would show up. But I had a good birthday party. You know, I had a few friends from my neighborhood, and that kid John came, and then my 2 friends who were friends with him came. So we had fun, you know, we got to know each other, we got really close, and so me and him started dating. I don't really know how, I don't remember how, but I know we started dating, and for me, I didn't realize it until a few years later, but I had fallen in love with him. We dated for about 4 years, and we had gotten really close, you know. I moved to Kentucky and we had a long distance relationship. He called me every day, you know. He he would ride his bike to my house just to see me. He would go to the park with me and we'd play. And at recess he'd play with me, and at school he'd sit with me because he got bullied too. So we always had each other, you know. And so we had, you know, a really close bond. And then when we got to 6th grade, I went to a different school than he did. I had just moved back from Kentucky, and he had been going to this school in the town we lived in, which I didn't live there anymore. I moved in with my grandparents, and like the town we lived in was like the poorer class town, and then my grandparents lived in like a nicer area. So when I moved in with my grandparents, I went to a nicer school, you know, and so he still lived out there, which it wasn't a bad area. I'm not gonna say it was like awful, but like it wasn't the best, you know. So he went to a school out there, and I went to a school out here, and we were in 6th grade, and we dated all through 6th grade. You know, we saw each other every week. You know, we hung out. We would go to like there was like little events for Halloween and stuff that we'd go to together and stuff. And then we started like drifting apart at the end of 6th grade. That summer between 6th and 7th, we started like drifting apart, and I could see it, you know, and it hurt, you know. So there was one day we were on the phone and we didn't really talk, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get off the phone, and I'm not gonna say I love you first. I'm gonna let him say it, and if he doesn't say it, I'll call him back and ask him if he wants to break up. So that's what I did. I was like, okay, well, I gotta go, John, you know, bye. And he was like, okay, bye, and hung up. And my heart broke calling him back. I called him back and I was like, John, like, how do you feel about our relationship? And he was like, I feel like we're growing apart and that we should take a break. And I was like, okay, let's take a break. Because I knew he was scared to break up with me because I had so many siblings. You know, they're all like, oh, if you break up with my sister, I'm going to hurt you. You know, like, being big sisters and big, you know, protecting me. So I knew he didn't want to break up with me because my sisters are crazy. So I knew that he wanted to break up, so I broke up with him. But I remember the minute I hung up the phone, I had such a regret for making that phone call, and I sat down and I started bawling my eyes out. And at the time, I didn't know how bad it really hurt. But I called my best friend and I told her, and she was like, oh, okay, well, her and him didn't get along anyway, so she was like, oh, well, you're free now. And I was like, I don't want to be free. And like my whole family tried to cheer me up, but it didn't. I ended up becoming very depressed, you know, that I remember like late at night I would lie in my bed screaming because I just felt this agony in my heart and this pain, and it was just so bad. And you know, it was awful. For 7th grade, I was everyone called me goth or emo, because I started cutting, and I was suicidal, and I just stopped caring like about myself and about anything else. And I know that's stupid to do over a breakup, but when you get to the point where you love someone that much, and like me and him had our whole lives planned out. We had our wedding planned out. And I know we were young, and I know we were kids, but to me it was a lot more than kitty love, you know. I actually truly, and I still do, I still love him, but now I'm at the point where I know that there's no hope, and I just want him to be happy. That's all I ever wanted, was I wanted him to be happy, and if I couldn't do that, then I wanted him to find it somewhere else. And I'm not gonna say that the breakup, I was, you know, awful. I'm not gonna say I was like the perfect person to break up with, because I'm like my sisters and I'm crazy. And when we first broke up, you know, he would try to like be friends with me, and I just would get mad and be like, no, I hate you. And I did push him away, and I was kind of a jerk to him, and I feel really bad for how I left it. I wish we could have made amends, and I wish we could be friends, but I know it's just not going to happen. So I do apologize for that to him. I wish I could apologize for the things I've said and stuff to him. But anyway, so we broke up, and then I tried to date a few other people. In ninth grade I dated that kid that I got suspended for. I did a story time on that. So go check that video out if you didn't see it already. I did a story time on when I got suspended. And then in, I think, 10th grade. Yeah, 10th grade. In 10th grade I dated another kid. I'm going to call him George. We're going to call him George. So I dated George in 10th grade. My best friend, her boyfriend, hooked me and him up because me and him were close friends and stuff. And I cared a lot about him, and I still do. I still care truly deeply about him, and I do hope that he gets everything he deserves in life and more. But we ended up breaking up because I'm psycho, and I had gotten molested at a concert, and I didn't want to date anymore, so I broke up with him. Plus, when I finally got over that issue of what happened to me at the concert, I just didn't want to, and right now this is how I am. I don't want to date because I have too many issues that I need to resolve, and I know that I'm not going to be the best girlfriend because I push people away too easily. So I just want, I want him to be happy, and I want this for him and for John. I want them both to be happy, and I know that I'm not good. I'm no good for myself. I need to figure out what I'm doing before I can figure out a relationship, you know what I mean? So I'm just at the point where I just don't want to date because I have too much going on, and I have too many things going through my mind and stuff that I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to push people away. I'm one of those people that if someone loves me, like if someone cares about me, I don't like it. Like I love it. I like when someone cares about me, but I don't because I feel like they're gonna leave me. I have that fear that everyone in the world's gonna leave me, and I'm just gonna end up alone and hurt. So I try not to get too close to people because I don't want to get hurt. So I'm just like a loner now. But yeah, those are my relationship stories. I hope that you guys don't have to go through the pain and stuff I did. So if you guys have any relationship stories that you guys want to tell me in the comments. And if you guys have any ideas for any videos that you'd like to see, comment down below too. And as always, have a lovely day, you lovely people. Mwah! Bye guys.